everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Corin, also known as the Kitten Choreographer. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm a teen with a passion for animal rescue and, in particular, kitten rescue. I have my notes on my phone, that's why I'm going to be periodically glancing at it. But I haven't done one of these in a while, but today's video is actually going to be a remake of one of my older videos that is no longer up on my channel. I took it down because it was before my transition, and I just don't really want those videos on my channel anymore. I also just have some updated information in this video. But today's video is going to be why 2 kittens are better than 1 kitten. And also, I'm sorry for this kind of like messy background. I'm working on getting a better setup, but right now I only have 2 studio lights that are incredibly difficult to move around, so this is going to be my only filming spot for a little bit. I'm splitting this video into 2 different sections. I'm going to have downsides to adopting 1 kitten, and then upsides to adopting 2 kittens. But before I start, I do want to also mention that I hope this video is a great resource for anyone that is considering adopting a kitten, so that they can see why they might want 2 kittens instead, or this can be a good resource for foster parents of kittens that want to be able to convince other people that are considering adopting a kitten to adopt 2 kittens, because 2 kittens really is always better than 1. But my first downside to adopting 1 kitten is that kittens can get really lonely in a house all by themselves. Contrary to popular belief, cats are very social creatures. Like, if you look at them outside, they're gonna live in colonies. They're not gonna live by themselves most of the time. And so they're very social creatures, so they can get lonely if they're alone. And if kittens get lonely, that's when we start to see some destructive behaviors, such as scratching on your couch, or your furniture, or tearing up things, anything they can get their paws on, really. People like to think that kittens aren't as destructive as dogs, but they can actually be really destructive if they don't have proper enrichment. And one of the easiest ways for a kitten not to have proper enrichment is for them to be alone, because then they're lonely and they don't have something to occupy their time that is less destructive. And on a similar note, kittens can drive you as the human parent absolutely crazy because they're lonely. If you work from home, or even if you're just home a lot, these kittens are going to be bugging you constantly, or like a single kitten will be bugging you constantly, because they are looking for constant playtime. Since they're just alone, they don't have anything to occupy themselves except for you, so you're going to be doing a lot more playtime with them, and that can drive you crazy if they're constantly attacking and biting you and wanting to play. And I don't mean attacking and biting in a aggressive way, just in a I want to play way. My next reason is that you might be separating a bonded pair. And a bonded pair in cats is where there are 2 cats, they're absolute best friends, and they are even closer than best friends. They are like soulmates. Not in a romantic way, just in a way that they like living life together and that they don't want to live life without each other. And they can get very depressed if they're separated, and especially when you get into older cats that you're adopting only 1, make sure if you do only adopt 1 that you're not adopting 1 out of a duo of a bonded pair. And back to just driving you crazy, if you have an older cat already, say like a senior cat, your new kitten might drive that senior crazy. Because they see this cat, they want to be friends with this cat, this new, exciting cat. But this cat, seniors, if they've lived alone for a while, they don't want another cat friend. So they're less likely to acclimate to this new kitten if this kitten is driving them nuts all the time. Another reason that you should not just adopt 1 kitten is that if you're getting a really young kitten, they might be separated from their mom if they're with one, or their siblings too young, and they won't learn all of the cat skills they need. Some examples of this could be proper grooming behavior, that they should scratch on a scratching post and not on your furniture, or that they should cover their poop. I have definitely seen that kittens don't learn these skills if they're separated off on their own alone way too early. And if you still aren't really sure on the part where it's like kittens can go too crazy, I've had kittens returned, and the reason they gave was they were too playful. When they were just being kittens, but because there was only 1 cat in the home, they were seen as too playful by their owner because they didn't have a way to get out their little kitten energy with another kitten that can match that energy. Because in the end, humans and cats have very different energies. Cats want to play a lot more often and at more different times than humans. You know, humans have more of a set schedule, whereas cats kind of bounce around with when they're sleeping, and they can be up at night more than humans are. And so there's just a lot of driving you crazy if there's not another kitten there. And I have had a kitten returned for being too playful, but as soon as we got him in with another cat, he was absolutely fine, and I didn't see him as too playful at all. Okay, now let's move on to the second part of this video, which is the upsides to adopting 2 kittens. And this is kind of just going to be the opposite of some of the downsides with some additional information. But you could adopt 2 kittens that end up becoming bonded, which if there is a bonded pair that is together, that is amazing, because it really just means that your cat has a best friend for life. And even if they're not fully bonded, your cats can snuggle together and they can play together. These 2 kittens can learn their skills together. It's much more likely that a kitten that is missing an instinct can pick it up from another kitten that is not missing that instinct. I foster a lot of orphans, and when they don't have their mom to teach them stuff, they still do pick up the skills they need just from each other, from their instincts. So those 2 kittens can learn those skills they're missing together. Another reason you should adopt 2 is that kittens— oh, hi. Oh, Lorelai. She came up and she wanted patsies. She's a good kitty. She wants down now, though. Another reason you should adopt 2 is that kittens are not as destructive if they're together. They are playing with each other, so they're not going to be thinking of outside of the box ways to entertain themselves, so they're not going to naturally want to be as destructive. They're going to play with each other, wrestle with each other— oh, sorry, I'm out of focus there. But they're going to wrestle with each other. That's a very normal thing for kittens to do. They play with each other by kind of play fighting, if you didn't know. Yeah, they won't be nearly as destructive if they can entertain each other. And they also won't drive you crazy. That's another reason. They won't distract you as much if you're trying to work or trying to sleep or trying to eat, because they will be entertaining each other. And if you do already have a cat at home that is an older cat or a senior, they won't annoy this new cat as much because they have each other to play with, and it does actually make it more likely for that senior cat to accept your new kittens because they aren't being as bugged. Another important reason to adopt 2 is that you avoid single kitten syndrome, as it is known. And single kitten syndrome is basically where kittens don't learn how to cat because they're separated too young from their litter mates or their mom. They bite too hard, they scratch too hard, not because they're being mean, but because they don't know the limit. Cats have communication skills just like people do with each other, and a kitten can be like, hey, this is too hard, when a kitten is biting the other, and they learn not to bite as hard when they're playing because those kittens can communicate with each other. Those single kittens are also a lot more destructive, so with adopting 2 kittens, you really avoid this. And in rescue, we actually try to keep kittens with a friend for as long as possible, or to quickly get them a friend if they don't. We do have a 2-week quarantine period for new kittens just to make sure they're not sick, but as soon as we know that a kitten is healthy, we're going to put it with another litter or with another kitten so that they're not alone, because it is really important for those kittens to have friends. Cats, like I mentioned, are social creatures unless they've been raised alone already, and then you're going to see those cats that really don't like other cats. But inherently, cats are social animals. I'm not sure if I'm going to put in my little drop-ins yet with my cards, just because this video went very fast with the descriptions, so I don't know if I'll really be able to add that in with it making sense without it being like card after card after card, so I'm not sure if I'm going to add that in yet. But I hope those were just a few reasons that you could see why it's best to adopt 2 kittens instead of 1. And I mentioned in my last video that, I don't know if any of you remember that, most of you probably don't, but I did mention in that first video that I wished that I could make sure that all of my kittens went to a home with either another young kitten or pet, or with another kitten, and I wished that I could. But now I actually can. I work with an amazing rescue called Itty Bitty Kitten Rescue that lets their fosters be very involved with the adoption process. So we get to okay every home that the kitten goes to, and if we don't think it's a good fit for that kitten, they don't have to go to that home. So I get to make sure that all of my kittens either go in pairs or go to a home with another young cat. If you do have a young cat that you think will do well with your kitten already, you don't necessarily have to adopt 2, but you would be saving 2 lives instead of 1. And that's one more big reason I almost forgot to mention, that is that you are saving 2 lives by adopting 2 kittens. But I did bring up Itty Bitty Kitten Rescue because I do want you to go show them some love. I'm gonna link below their donation link. If you have the means, I'd love for you to donate to support kitties in Central Kentucky. You, of course, don't have to, and I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch or anything. It really is just for the kitties. But one of the many, many reasons they're amazing is because they don't let their kittens be lonely, and they also do let their fosters be really involved in that adoption process so the kittens can really go to the best homes possible. Sorry for the noise in the background. I don't know what those kitties are doing. But little foster kitten update while we're here. If you're not interested in that, you can go ahead and hop off. But Travis and Kelsey are going home Super Bowl Sunday, which is kind of funny because they're named after a football player who's going to be in the Super Bowl. And then Lorelai is going home the day this video goes up. Lorelai is the kitten you just saw me holding up. Travis and Kelsey will be in the thumbnail. But yeah, then I'll be open for some more kittens. It is winter where I'm located. There aren't very many kittens, but I will try to get some more kittens soon. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you did like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe for more kitten-related content. I upload on Sundays and on Wednesdays if I can, and if I can't, then I upload whenever I am able to. I do have a really big, exciting series coming up all about new cat parents. There's 7 episodes planned, and they're going to come out weekly, so definitely subscribe if you want to stay tuned with detailed, non-judgmental tips on how to be a first-time cat parent or someone that hasn't had a cat since maybe they were a kid and wants to do some more research before they adopt or foster. But yes, that is going to be it for today's video. I don't remember where I was in the outro, but thank you so much for watching again, and goodbye.